The Joker. The Joker isn't dark because he wants money, power, or control. He's dark because he wants to prove that nothing matters. In the Batman films, especially The Dark Knight, the Joker isn't trying to win. He's trying to break people. His entire philosophy is that society is a lie and that all it takes is one bad day for anyone to become just as cruel as he is. That's why he doesn't rob banks to get rich. He burns the money like a goddamn psychopath. He doesn't kill randomly. He creates situations where others have to choose who lives and who dies just to prove they're no better than him. He blows up a hospital not to kill for shock value. Yes, he blew up a hospital, but to erase hope. Destroying a place meant to save lives while casually walking away like it's nothing. He rigs ferries full of civilians and prisoners with explosives, forcing them to decide whether to kill each other to survive. He assassinates public figures on live television, turning Gotham's justice system into a joke. He manipulates civilians, criminals, even Batman himself, because Batman has a "don't kill the Joker" rule, which forces impossible moral choices. One of his most disturbing actions is turning Harvey Dent, Gotham's symbol of justice, into a murderer. Not through force, but through psychological destruction. The Joker doesn't see himself as a villain. He sees himself as a mirror, exposing how fragile morality really is. He laughs not because things are funny, but because chaos is the only truth he believes in. And that's what makes him one of fiction's darkest characters. He isn't driven by hate or pain. He's driven by the belief that hope itself is a joke.
Why so serious?
Muzan. Muzan Kibutsuji is the source of all demons in Demon Slayer, and every single death in the series can be traced back to one thing: his narcissism and extreme ego. Muzan was born sick and weak, constantly on the brink of death, and that fear of dying shaped everything he became. When a doctor tried to cure him with an experimental treatment, Muzan legit murdered him out of impatience, only to later realize the treatment might have actually worked. That single act of ego-driven violence set off a chain reaction that created demons, suffering, and centuries of bloodshed. Muzan doesn't rule through loyalty or fear alone. He rules through control. He slaughters his own subordinates, including the lower moon demons, not because they betrayed him, but because they disappointed him. Humans, demons, allies, it doesn't matter. Everyone exists only to serve his survival. He has no empathy, no guilt, and no attachment to anyone or anything except himself. Muzan isn't evil because he enjoys chaos. He's evil because he believes the world owes him life, no matter how many people have to die for it.
Muzan!
If you've made it this far, make sure you subscribe. We're pushing for 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And drop a comment with any video ideas you want me to make next. Homelander. Homelander is one of the darkest characters in modern fiction because he looks like a hero, acts like a god, and has absolutely no humanity underneath. In The Boys, he's the most powerful superhero in the world, basically Superman, but instead of being raised with love or morals, he was grown in a lab and treated like a product. That lack of empathy defines everything he does. He doesn't protect people because it's right. He protects his image. When a blind superhero named Blindspot joins the team, Homelander instantly cripples him by destroying his hearing. Bye-bye hearing and sight. He forces another hero, the Deep, to eat his own pet octopus alive as punishment, showing how casually cruel he is. In one of the most disturbing moments, Homelander encounters a suicidal woman on a rooftop. Instead of helping, he mocks her and forces her to jump to her death. As the series progresses, he becomes more brazen, even murdering a protester in broad daylight because he knows people will still cheer for him. But his darkest act is Flight 37, where he abandons a crashing plane full of civilians, including children, because saving them would damage his reputation. Homelander isn't dark because he loses control. He's dark because he always knows exactly what he's doing and simply doesn't care.
It was perfect. Perfect.
Art the Clown. Art the Clown is dark because he isn't motivated by revenge, trauma, or a tragic backstory. He hurts people because he enjoys it. In the Terrifier films, Art is a silent killer who never speaks, never explains himself, and never shows remorse. He treats murder like a performance. In the mall scene, he stalks victims in public, smiling and posing like it's a joke, turning ordinary places into nightmare fuel. In All Hallows' Eve, Art crosses a line most horror villains won't by murdering children, a straight-up menace. In Terrifier, his torture of Allie is deliberately drawn out, not rushed, because Art wants suffering to last. He isn't efficient. He's indulgent. Later, he escalates even further, planting a bomb inside a child's present, turning innocence itself into a weapon. Art doesn't kill out of rage or necessity. He kills for entertainment, and that's what makes him so disturbing. There's no goal, no lesson, no reason. Just vibes and cruelty for his own sake. Norman Bates. Norman Bates is dark because his evil doesn't come from hatred or ambition. It comes from a broken mind slowly collapsing in on itself. In Bates Motel, Norman starts as a quiet, fragile teenager with an obsessive attachment to his mother, Norma. That attachment becomes so intense that when she threatens to abandon him emotionally, he kills her. Not out of rage, but out of fear of being alone. Unable to cope with what he's done, Norman's mind fractures, and he keeps Norma alive by digging up her corpse and treating it as if she's still alive and well. From that point on, Norman dissociates completely, committing serial murders while believing his mother is the one in control. He kills his teacher, Blair Watson, to protect this delusion, seeing them as threats to Norma. In the final season, Norman prepares a family dinner with Norma's at the table, inviting his brother Dylan, reinforcing how far his reality has warped. Norman isn't a monster who enjoys killing. He's terrifying because he genuinely doesn't know when he's the one doing it.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Dexter "Goat" Morgan. Dexter Morgan is dark in a way that feels uncomfortable because he's not just a killer. He's someone trying and often failing to be good. In Dexter, he's a blood spatter analyst for the Miami police and a serial killer by night, driven by what he calls his dark passenger. As a child, Dexter witnessed a horrific murder, and that trauma left him emotionally numb. His adoptive father teaches him a strict set of rules called the Code, which tells Dexter to only kill people who deserve it, murderers who escaped justice. That's the good side. The problem is, Dexter constantly blurs that line. He murders an innocent man in a bathroom after trauma dumping on him, proving that the Code doesn't always protect people. It protects Dexter's need to kill. He kills his own brother Brian when Brian threatens his carefully built life, choosing stability over family. He slowly destroys his sister Deborah's life by pulling her deeper into his secret, leaving her traumatized and broken. He even teaches Miguel Prado the Code, creating another killer out of arrogance. And when Captain Maria Lagerta gets too close to the truth, Dexter kills her too. Dexter wants to be good, but the darker truth is this. Every time he chooses himself, someone innocent pays the price.
Suggesting I have anything to do.
All for One. All for One is dark because he doesn't just destroy people. He uses them, then throws them away when they break. In My Hero Academia, he's one of the first and most powerful villains, able to steal quirks and give them to others, which lets him play God with people's lives. He doesn't fight for chaos or ideology, he fights for control. When Lady Nagant begins to doubt him, he literally rigs her body to explode from the inside, proving that loyalty to him is enforced through fear. He treats heroes the same way, once using Gran Torino as a human shield without hesitation. His cruelty is most obvious with children. He manipulates Tenko Shimura by handing him the severed hands of his own family, grooming his trauma into hatred. He does the same to Toya Todoroki, pushing him toward villainy by exploiting his pain. Eventually, All for One goes even further by taking over Tamura Shigaraki's body entirely, erasing his identity. He isn't just a villain, he's a parasite, surviving by hollowing others out.
You are my only family.
Judge Holden. In Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian, Judge Holden stands as one of literature's most terrifying figures. A pale, hairless giant who towers nearly 7 feet tall, moving through the 1850s Texas-Mexico borderlands like a demon made flesh. The judge rides with the Glanton Gang, a group of scalp hunters paid to kill Apache, but who massacre anyone in their path. While the gang commits atrocities for profit, the judge does so with philosophical purpose. He believes war is the ultimate expression of existence, that violence reveals the true nature of man. His intellect makes him more frightening than any simple killer. He speaks multiple languages, sketches scientific observations and debates, but this knowledge serves only darkness. He collects artifacts and specimens wherever he travels, then destroys them, believing that by recording something in his book and eliminating the original, he gains dominion over it. His crimes against children are particularly horrific. He lures them with candy shaped like tiny skulls, though they instinctively recoil from him. He purchases puppies only to hurl them from a bridge to drown, treating innocent life as material for his philosophical experiments about power and control. The novel's protagonist encounters the judge at the beginning and end of his journey. The judge seemingly ageless, undying. In the final scene, the judge remains, dancing and claiming he will never die. He represents evil that cannot be reasoned with, defeated, or understood, only witnessed in its terrible, eternal existence. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into fiction's darkest characters.